Okay, in this video, I'm going to give you 3 reasons why I think everyone should buy this lens as their first lens, and then I'm going to tell you some disadvantages and also some alternatives to this lens if you have deeper pockets. Okay, welcome to the channel. If you're your first time here, I'm Cohen, and I just review some gear that I have as a beginning filmmaker and photographer. And in my experience, this Sony 18-135 lens has been the best lens, the best first lens to have for the Sony A6000 series, and I'm going to tell you why. First, its range from 18 all the way to 135 allows you to vlog and also do telephoto type things. Like if you're staying on the sideline of a football game, you can get some decent looking photos. Basketball games works great, and yeah, almost any mid-range sporting events, it would work perfectly. But you can also vlog, and at 18 millimeters, you have to hold the camera, hold your arms out pretty far, but it's possible. And especially if you put like a little mini tripod on the bottom of it, it works great. I do it all the time, and I've done it in a couple of these videos. And obviously it can do all the ranges in between, like headshots, decently well. Reason number 2 why I would get this lens, and probably the best reason, is it has OSS, which is Sony's version of optical steady shot. Basically what that means is it won't allow your footage to shake as much as it would without optical steady shot. I'm going to throw 2 examples on the screen right now. One without optical steady shot using my prime lens that I have, and one with this lens using optical steady shot, and you can see there's a huge difference in micro jitters and shakes in the camera. This is especially important to consider if you have a Sony A6100 or a Sony A6400. And being that I have the A6400, I'm very grateful that this has optical steady shot. And lastly, probably the best reason is it's a budget-friendly price. You can find this on eBay in like new condition for $300. And that's honestly just a great price considering it covers so many ranges. 18 to 135, like I said, covers like 4 different prime lenses that you would have to carry in your bag. So honestly, a great price, which makes it good for beginners. And also, it allows you to test all those different ranges, which is extremely good because you might find that you stay at 18 millimeters a majority of the time. And so you probably want to invest in a prime that's 16 millimeters or something very wide. Or if you find that you're always at the max at 135, maybe you want to go to a 70 to 200 route. And just kind of a bonus personal reason why I love this lens is it's just a great backup lens to have in your camera bag in case those primes aren't the perfect length for what you're trying to figure out. It's always nice to be able to zoom into those in between awkward like 37, 40 millimeters or 90 millimeters, those weird just in between focal lengths that you might not get out of prime lenses. And it also just keeps your bag lighter. Say you're just going for a normal hike, and you only want to carry one lens. This is a perfect lens because you have tons of ranges. You don't have to carry tons of different lenses in your camera bag, so it saves a lot of weight. Now time to talk about a few disadvantages of this lens, and probably the biggest one would be the variable aperture zoom. It goes from 3.5 all the way to 5.6, which means at 18 millimeters, it'll be at 3.5 aperture, and at 135 millimeters, the lowest it can go is 5.6 aperture, meaning when you zoom in, the image is going to get darker in your videos. So if you're videoing primarily and doing a lot of zooming action, this is probably not the best lens for you. And also another disadvantage is 3.5 isn't that low of an aperture. And so if you want like a 2.8 or a 1.8 or a 1.4 aperture, this lens is not going to cut it out. But like we said, it's a budget-friendly option for you to test out what the best focal length is for you and what kind of videos or photos you're taking. That also means that it's not going to have the creamiest background. It's not going to be the absolute best in low light. So yeah, those are just some disadvantages that come with a cheaper lens. So maybe the variable aperture zoom is a deal breaker for you. A good alternative would be the Sony 18-105 f1.4 lens because it stays at a constant f1.4 throughout the whole zoom, which is really great. It's a little bigger, a little heavier, and a little bit more expensive, coming in around $400 on eBay. So if you're willing to drop the extra $100 and carry a little extra weight, that's probably the way to go. You also don't get the last 30 millimeters of that zoom, so keep that in mind. If you have a little bit deeper pockets and hey, maybe you want to splurge a little bit, here's some expensive alternatives that you could buy. The Tamron 17-70 f2.8 lens comes in right around $800. So that's an option. It doesn't zoom as far, but you get the f2.8 constant aperture. A Tamron 35-150, which is a new lens that I think is a really good lens. It does have variable aperture 2 to 2.8, but That's not that much of a range. You can just keep it at 2.8 if you want to. And it comes in right around $2,000, which is very pricey. And then the last alternative that I kind of came up with was the Sigma 24-70 f2.8 art lens, which is once again a very pricey lens, right around $1,200, brand new. So for me, those are completely outside of my budget, and I would imagine for most people using an A6000 series camera, it's a cheaper camera in general, so most of us are probably going to be budget beasts, budget ballers, you know, balling on a budget. So yeah, we're budget beasts over here. We're trying to make do with what we got, and I say the 18 to 135 is a great budget option, and you're still going to get great images out of. Here are just some pictures that I've taken with this lens, and yeah, I just think it's really good for the price, and I don't think you'll regret buying it. In worst case scenario, you buy it on eBay, like new, keep it in good condition, use it for a few months, you outgrow it, you sell it, and you make most of your money back. Like, it's probably going to hold its value. It's not like it's a brand new lens or anything. As long as you keep it in good condition, you can probably resell it for about what you bought it for. So yeah, that's why I think you should get this lens. If you want to know what prime lens I like to use, watch this video. And if you want to see why I bought the A6400, watch this video. This isn't even my plant. It's my roommate's plant. I just put it in the background to add a little bit of, I don't know. I didn't want it just to be a plain wood table. I want it to look like I had some style taste. Okay, I'm done.